In this video, we will examine the task of annotating data in an image. The goal is to label which animals are depicted in the picture. We provide an image as input, and the task is to write which animal is shown in the response. To solve this, I will use the data annotation service 2CAPTCHA. I will not cover the registration process and balance replenishment. Let's get straight to the practice. To start, we create a project by clicking the Add Project button. Next, we set the task name and its description. Below, we provide a detailed description of the task for the worker. Select the language. Note that choosing the incorrect language will send your task to the wrong worker. Below you can receive the response directly to your server. To do this, click the Add Webhook button and add your server. I won't do this now to save time. Now, we create fields for our task. Click the Add Spec button. On the left is the task itself. Name the field using Latin characters and without spaces, as if the name contains spaces. The script did not work for me. Next, select the type, image, since we are providing images as input. And for foolproof protection, use the checkbox. If it is selected, the task will not be added without an image. Now, on the right, create a field for the worker. Select Input, because I need the worker to enter text. The field name should also be in Latin characters and without spaces. To demonstrate the process of solving the task, I will check the Sandbox checkbox so that the images are sent to me. Now it is necessary to automate the process of sending images to avoid doing it all manually. Let's write a simple script that will send images to the 2CAPTCHA server. First, create a folder and within it, create a file named script.py. Also, create a folder for images and name it Images. Now let's take a detailed look at what the script will include. The complete code, which will be shown next, will be posted in an article on my blog on Hab, and the link will be in the description of this video. To get started, let's import the necessary libraries. In the script, we will use requests for making HTTP requests, base64 for encoding images, OS for working with the file system, and JSON for handling JSON data. Now, let's create the createTask function, which is responsible for creating a task on the 2CAPTCHA server. It takes the API URL, project ID, image path, and API key as parameters. More details on where to find everything mentioned above will be provided further on. What will this piece of code do? First, it opens an image and encodes it in base64. Second, it creates a task specification containing the encoded image. Third, it creates a payload for the request. Fourth, it sets the request headers, including the API key. Fifth, it sends a POST request to the 2CAPTCHA server. Sixth, it processes the server's response and returns the result. We'll also add a function that checks if the specified project ID is valid. It sends a GET request to the 2CAPTCHA server and returns the verification result. This is a so-called foolproof protection. Next, we'll add a function that processes all images in a specified directory. It checks the validity of the project ID, reads the images, verifies if they have already been sent, and creates tasks for new images. After that, it updates the history of already sent images. Finally, we'll include the main block of the program, where we set the parameters. The API URL, project ID, image directory, and API key. After that, we call the process images function. Now, let's figure out where to get the data for our script. The API URL, project ID, and API key are obtained from the 2CAPTCHA website. The API documentation contains the API URL. I'll also leave a link in the video description. The project ID and API key can be found in the dashboard. The path to the image directory is taken from the folder where the script is located. Place your images in the specified folder, and you can run the script. Now that everything is ready, let's run our script. The script ran successfully. Let's check if the images were transferred to the service. As you can see, all images have been successfully uploaded, and now we just need to wait for a worker to solve them. In our case, let's see what the task looks like from the worker's side. Let's solve a few tasks. Let's check if the worker's responses have been received. As you can see, all the workers' responses have been transmitted to our personal account. Thanks for your attention.